Good evening, guys. Evening. Back again, our live stream. For some reason, I was having some problems when I was trying to click on the live button. It wasn't allowing me for whatever reason, and so I had to try and refresh it. But here we are. So back again, as you say, another day, another dollar live stream. Has been a few days since my last one, though. It was like Christ. Was it last Friday? I did one, so it feels like it's been a while. But here we are, though. So I've got a few. So the main topic will be, um, well, you gotta love this woke mob, right? So they've I think they've found another victim, and Róisín Murphy of Moloko fame. So I'm going to get into that. Something that I think has been going on for a few days, but I only just caught wind of it now. Just a few hours back, I came across it on Twitter. So I'm going to get into that. So what I will do, I'll do what I usually do and get the link sent out on Twitter. That'll hopefully get the numbers up a little bit. So I don't know, there's a couple of people on right now. So I don't know, is that you, Julio Cass? Are you there? And then my loyal rags are they here in the house this evening? Um, there you are, Julio Cass. Evening. How are you, sir? Good to see you. Shaying it back, bring it back, saying it back. Yeah, I was going to get into that. Um, I turned into pen bun earlier, but there were no hedgehogs. I can't get into that stuff when it's her with her bunnies and her hedgehogs. It doesn't appeal to me. It's like get into the conspiracy theories, get into talking about Schofield and Andrew Tate or Dan Wooten or whatever. I'm not really down with all the animals. Um, so yes, so it seems that the woke mob have found another victim in Róisín Murphy of Moloko fame. This is something I believe it's a couple days back that Róisín Murphy had posted on her own personal Facebook account. Um, now, this seems to be a very common thing of people being critical of the pop stars. It seems to be people being critical of the radical trans agenda. That's what it is, a radical agenda, trying to push this. And what I say is that they're promoting this. Really, they're promoting this to the general population and trying to shove it down our throats. And when people speak out about this, there's usually typically there will, and predictably there'll be a backlash, and then in the end there will be a prepared notes app type apology that gets posted from their on their Twitter, their Instagram, whatever. And it's getting to the point now with this stuff. I'm almost starting to think like, is this like planned out? Is this kind of calculated? Do they like know what they're doing? But I will get into that. Oh yeah, I like a good debate as much as the next guy, Julio Carson. And maybe when she's got another live and call in, I'll maybe go on next time with Penny Bunny. Me and her can chop it up. But this is the stuff then. So Roisin Murphy of Moloko fame. And Moloko, that was a group I liked back in the day. I mean, Sing It Back. I thought Sing It Back was a really good song. The Time Is Now, that was another one. And that was a song that I remember that they had that song when it was the football and Sky Sports for a long time. So two big hits and no doubt very talented, creative. and somebody that you think with 2 hits like that they would have, had more longevity and success in the music industry. So, I don't know if, Moloko, maybe she was somebody that's been like a writer, she's written for other artists, I don't know. But she had worked with a producer by the name of Mark Bryden. I think maybe they were dating at the same time as well when they were in the group. But I mean, there were some good songs there. You know what I mean? There were, well, I say, well, there wasn't many that I was aware of, but Sing It Back, the original version, is so much different from the one that with the dance remix. Is one more for the club, and that was a number one. That was number one on the US dance charts. It got to number four in UK, and then she had Time Is Now. That was number. I was number two back in 2000. So she's somebody that's not really had a big hit, and buddy, you're talking 20 years now or whatever. And all of a sudden now she's talking on this. She's speaking about this and giving her opinion. Um, I don't know. There was a couple other people though that they didn't seem to like and take to on the channel as well, the Julia cast. But I don't know if it was a personal thing though. But anyway, so yeah, this is what Roisin Murphy said. Okay, so this is what she said on her Facebook account. She said, puberty blockers are fucked. Absolutely desolate. Big pharma laughing all the way to the bank. Little mixed up kids are vulnerable and need to be protected. That's just true. And then this is the Guardian I'm reading. Yeah, they say that she preempted criticism, writing, "Please don't call me a turf. Trans exclusionary radical feminist. Please don't keep using that word against women." Um, After being screen grabbed, the comments trended on Twitter, where Murphy received both praise with numerous, but then there was backlash as well, people being critical, with numerous LGBTQ plus fans disavowing their support for her. And this is one thing as well, because you see this pattern here. You see people that are like almost you could say an ally of the LGBTQ community. There was Howard Donald. He's been a big ally of the LGBTQ community. He almost gets cancelled for liking tweets. He got kicked off the Pride event back in it was a couple of months ago now. You had Neo. I would say his music's an audience. He had made the comments about back in my day, boy was a boy, girl was a girl, and Howard Donald, he was very quick to apologize. Neo was quite quick to apologize. Well, in fairness, though, he did kind of backtrack. That apology was through his publicist, but it wasn't that long though for her to backtrack on what she had said. And it's just so typical to the point where it's like, is this almost planned? Is this almost like a premeditated type thing? But so Roisin Murphy said, I've been thrown into a very public discourse in an arena I'm uncomfortable in and deeply unsuitable for. I can't apologize enough for being the reason for this eruption of damaging and potentially dangerous social media fire and brimstone. To witness the ramifications of my action and the division it has caused is heartbreaking. I've had a personal Facebook account for years. The morning I made these comments, I was scrolling and brought up a specific issue that was only broadly related to the original post. It was something that had been on my mind. I knew my friends were informed about the topic. I should have known too that I was stepping out of line. I've spent my whole life celebrating diversity and different views, but I never patronize or cynically aim my music directly at the pockets of any demographic. The music I make is the core of everything I do, and it's ever evolving, freewheeling, and unpredictable. For those of you who are leaving me or who have already left, I understand, I really do. But please know I have loved every one of you. I've always been so proud of my audience and understood the privilege of performing for you all through the years. I'm so sorry my comments have been directly hurtful to many of you. You must have felt a huge shock, blindsided by this so abruptly. I understand fixed view. I understand fixed views are not helpful, but I really hope people can understand my concern was out of love for all of us. So it's the typical thing. People are just apologizing, backtracking. Yeah, some faded pop star types an opinion. which is probably why it's a reason it's only it was this is back like 3 or 4 days ago, Julia Cass, and all of a sudden I just came across it on Twitter now, because that's the thing. Okay, she had a couple of big hits, but she hasn't been relevant in pop culture for now 20 plus years. So it's like, whatever. But she goes on and says, I will now completely bow out of this conversation within the public domain. I'm not in the slightest bit interested in turning it into any kind of campaign because campaigning is not what I do. Though I completely understand that for others, activism is their true calling and is necessary and legitimate in a democracy. My true calling is music, and music will never exclude any of us. I believe it will always be one of the greatest tools we can use to create a culture of tolerance, which is a fair point. I mean, music transcends everything ultimately, right? Thank you for taking the trouble to read this. Sincerely, Róisín. So there you have it. Um, and this is the thing, my theory that yeah, that dress did stand out, didn't it? In the "Sing It Back" song, the video. But the thing is, what makes me feel that it could be premeditated is that she's saying that how she's prepared. That it's a week on Friday that her sixth solo studio album is coming out, which would make me think, well, this all of a sudden now has got eyeballs on your music, which I don't think anyone was really checking for Roisin Murphy. Let's be honest. She's known as Moloko. A lot of people would probably refer to her as Moloko. Like, for example, they would refer to JK as Jamiroquai or Debbie Harry as Blondie. A lot of people have this probably idea that she's actually a group that she was in. And yeah, I mean, this is the thing. She hasn't been relevant for years. Let's just be honest. That's not a knock on her. I think the last time she was on a song that was of any, it was what it was the Band Aid 2 song, I think, when she was just there. Let's be honest, and no disrespect, she was just there, part of the group to make up the numbers. So she hasn't, you know, I mean, I don't know. Again, she had talent and she had creativity, and she had it in her to could have been she could have been a much bigger in the industry. And I don't know, maybe it just came down to not wanting to play the game, playing the industry games. Not She didn't want to do things that she felt uncomfortable doing. Maybe that was part of it. Yes, I mean, ultimately thought she would have been around longer than she was. But this is just such like the sissy thing though of like, let's say that this is genuine, right? And she genuinely apologized. It's just such the cowardly thing to do. Um, you should just have the courage and convictions, stand by what you say, and that's how it should be. I mean, when you're being outspoken of kids being put on puberty blockers, I mean, that is a hill that most reasonable, decent thinking people would be prepared to die on. Um, Now I know people could say that there could be a thing as gender what's the word? Is it dystopia? Sorry, I maybe pronounced the word wrong. But my whole thing is that it's the agenda ultimately. That's the problem I have. That this stuff, it's like it's being promoted. You know, it people. A boy deciding, hey, I want to be a girl. In general, I don't really have that much of a problem with, and whatever somebody wants to do, whatever that makes them happy. But it's when it's being promoted, like there's that agenda there to confuse kids. And Matt Walsh did a pretty good. He did a really good job, should I say? He did a great job with in exposing this stuff. Um, with all the this sex changes and all the mutilation that's getting done. Really, I mean, it's real bad in the States. Probably worse than it is here. Certainly, it's not really hit Scotland that badly yet. Not that I've seen, but he did a really good job with his film, though. What is a woman? And it's a certain hill that certain people will be prepared to die on, like Jordan Peters, A.K. Rowling, Matt Walsh. There's the guy Graham Linehan. I mean, he's been destroyed financially, right? I mean, I think his wife even left him over all this stuff. But still, it's a hill he was prepared to die on, and you've got to give the guy some credit for that. because it takes balls. Um, oh, in two, Modi and Kara, both there. Hey guys, how are you? Any thoughts, any comments on all that stuff? I don't know. You probably just heard me ranting, right? Charlene of Texas. What's her thoughts though on all the stuff Julia cast? She's probably more pro, probably this movement for it than against it, right? I don't know. I probably personally like Moloko more than Texas. Moloko is more my cup of tea. Like sing it back. Uh, there was a lot of good songs around that 99 2000 period though. And it was like a lot of those songs that you can think back on, like fond memories of. It's like those artists didn't last long though, sadly, for them. Like Christ, like Artful Dodger, they had some good material and like man, you're all friends. uh yeah, probably. I think Moloko, she comes off like a nice person. I saw one of those like Channel 4 channel, was it one of those documentaries on BBC Four, and she was speaking about the song "Bring It Back" on Top of the Pops, and she came off quite well. I mean, she just seemed to be somebody that was all about the art more than the money, and you know, she I think she had said that maybe she had turned down, like she didn't like people wanting to cover the song a lot, and maybe there was offers there for big artists to cover it, but she didn't want them doing it. But um overall, though, that's a hit, though. I mean, that's Q magazine ranked it 905 on the 1001 best songs ever. That's quite a big distinction, right? Right there. Rolling Stone ranked the song 152 on its 200 greatest dance songs of all time. So there you go again. That's another good like. Yeah, probably. I'm not really checking for Roisin Murphy's music. The thing about her, though, I don't know about you, but I always, for some reason, had it in my mind that she was Scottish. I don't know why, but she's actually Irish. So the Celtic connection, Scotland, Ireland, I was close enough. Yeah, some of them are kind of bullshit, though, aren't they? Some of them are a bit of bullshit. Um, so how's everything, Maureen, Cara? I don't know if you've heard much about this Roisin Murphy, Moloko. Were you guys into Moloko? Sing it back. The time is now. Du- 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 du. Yeah, yeah, well, I really like them as well. I mean, I think back to like I think the first CD I ever bought, right? And I think that Sing It Back song was on it was on Dance Hits 2000, and then I got it was the Cruising CD. I don't know if you remember that Cruising one from back then, like more of the laid back, chilled type songs, and then The Time Is Now was on that. I remember that song Crush by Jennifer Page. That's quite a good one, to be fair, eh? She was like another one that just had like one hit, maybe a follow up, and then was gone, eh? Uh, Jennifer Page was amazing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm surprised. I'm surprised that she didn't actually write the song though, which surprised me. Not everything I do depends on you. Yeah, yeah. David Morales, he did a remix of that, Cara. Posher, please, come on. I just have a more refined Scottish accent. No, but I'll say this much though, Cara, right? And I was thinking about this earlier. From my experience, Cara, like never trust a Scotsman who's born here, lived here his whole life, and doesn't have a Scottish accent. Never trust a Scotsman like that. I tell you. These guys are like this posh English accents. It's like, nah, cannot trust them fuckers. Oh, yeah, yeah. I play that song a lot though, Dewey Cat's Crush. Yeah, I like that one. And like listen to the Morales remix. You'll it'll grow on you after a while. Like, oh, I think one of my predictions is about to come true, Cara. With Hibernian, they sacked Lee Johnson. I said, oh, maybe they'll go for Neil Lennon again. And it's just been reported here an hour ago. Hibs make first move to bring back Neil Lennon. Like, my predictions are pretty good. I'm pretty good with predicting things, I'll tell you that much. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm not speaking like this, man, and fit like nae bad and can fit, can I mean, like, that's not, I don't like if I could talk like that a little bit with my friends and a bit more in proper informal type settings, but I don't overdo it though. People just use lose that after a while. I mean, like think of the Beatles, right? They probably all lost their accents in the end, right? Probably what? Uh Probably George Harrison was sounded the most scouse out of the four, right? Um, and then maybe Lennon, and then there was McCartney, Ringo. But you listen to like when you listen to Paul McCartney and Ringo Starr speak now, it's kind of like a more of an American type accent. I just thought you were straight up Irish to be honest with you, Julie Cass. Although that's maybe not entirely fair. I could see you sounded mostly Irish, but maybe there was a little bit of a different thing there to the accent where it could have been part something else. Maybe wasn't entirely sure, but Irish national. Wow, good on you, mate. Good on you. I'm always proud of my Irish roots. Irish from through my great grandfather, my mum, who came to Kilmarnock. Must have been late 1890 time, early 1900s. Kilmarnock, Irish name, was almost like Irish Catholic place, and Luxembourgish national. Nice. I need to get with it, right, with the Doric though, man, Cara. I know, I know. But someone when I posted the link on, YouTube to the video, uh, someone tried to get me with this question, right? They said, "What is the meaning of woke?" Because I think someone, like a Fox News or somebody was on Fox News asked to define what woke meant, and they kinda were stumbling on a proper answer to give. I just basically said, well, fake progressive who virtue signals and tries to cancel others. I think that's a good enough answer, right? Maybe I could have been a bit better with that, but got the point across anyway. A broker, so catchy. I'll get that broker lingo in my head soon, Cara. Just wait. A pen bun. I'll maybe go on one of our live streams next time, though. I'll go on one. La da dee, la da da, la da dee, la da da. I might go another pen bun phone in for a laugh. Right, right, right. Yeah. Well, she usually has one every Friday. Is every Friday, right? Our mate in that dodgy curly wig again. The leader of the National Housing Party, Julio Cas, that guy. God, I didn't even know there was such a thing. Oh, me. Wonder what he has he ever debated? Maybe he's debated Nick Griffin at a town hall somewhere. So, yeah, I'm talking about our mate. Just all the typical idiots though come out and say that Róisín Murphy was transphobic. It's just what idiots. Reading this woman here, Louise Woodward Styles. We love you, Róisín Murphy. You said nothing wrong. It wasn't hateful. It wasn't misjudged. It wasn't hurtful. It was truthful. It was factual. It was from your heart as a mother. Woman, protector. Puberty blockers are vile. Children can't consent to this. Hear, hear. Someone said as well, funnily enough, from what they've seen, maybe it's true, maybe it's not. The vile replies to Róisín Murphy are mainly men. The gender cult is fueled by men and their freaking desires. The MRAs lead the pack. Sick of men telling women what to do. We're not your handmaidens. Uh, David Bellow never apologized to the alphabet cult. It'll never be enough. Róisín Murphy should have had the courage to stand by her sensitive comments about puberty blockers. Instead, she bowed to the mob and now they're out to ruin her. If anything, it might actually get more eyeballs on her bloody album coming out, but again, who knows? Someone's saying here, funny how turfs and conservatives didn't give an entire fuck about Roisin Murphy's music until now. Well, I mean, listen, I was into Moloko, and I don't even really see her as like conservative. I mean, she seems to be much more liberal. Um, and music should transcend political views ultimately, really. But you know, it's not about a left wing, right wing thing. It's just a common sense thing, really. With young kids shouldn't be pushing young 4 or 5 year olds on bloody puberty blockers. It's like, gee, it's not a controversial opinion, man. Zach, hi. How are you, Zach? Thanks for joining. So I believe as Alice Cooper, he's been saying some things as well, but Alice Cooper, though, he won't back down. He won't apologize. I think it's the company that does his makeup. They've like parted ways with him. I know he's very like devout Christian, so he won't approve of this stuff. So he won't be apologizing to the mob. That's not our old friend cup of tea, though, Julia Cass. Zach's welcome. If you're polite and respectful, civil, you're welcome to come round here. Uh, Jack Rimbod, for fuck's sake, yet another public figure is bullied into making an apology for their statements opposing the trans cult. Like the Maoists in China, the Nazis in Germany, history repeats itself. Well, the slight difference is, I mean, back in the day, Hitler wouldn't have been pushing for this stuff about puberty blockers and children. Hitler would have despised. I mean, I'm pretty sure he despised gay people, right? He despised people, what they would have called people who were mentally retarded, right? Um, he pretty much hated everybody, right? Someone's saying, "Oh God, what an idiot here, right? Roisin Murphy would be a shift lead at Starbucks if not for the LGBT community." It's like, come on, I never saw like it being specifically like a gay only audience or mostly gay audience that liked our music, right? That liked Sing It Back. I don't think so. We're not talking about like Scissor Sisters here, you know? Like it was pretty much just a normal British demographic. The kids, teenagers, 18 to 34, even people older would have liked their music. It's like, come on. Oh, screwed politics. All right. What happened with him, Maureen? Did he have a falling out with Matthew or something? What's been going on there? Okay, and have you? Is this your first live stream, Zach? Have you been watching any of my stuff before, or someone's saying here, having closely followed the career of Roisin Murphy for 25 years and even worked for her former record label, I can almost guarantee that anyone hanging for an apology for her recent remarks is likely to die waiting. She couldn't give a single fuck. But in the end, she did apologize, though. So you had it wrong. Um, So you work for a whole record label. He's almost trying to create the impression like you were personally, but he didn't really. He might have just been a runner or a coffee fetcher, at this record label. But I think actually was replying to something about. It looked like from her Facebook thing, it was Graham Linehan, maybe something to do with that. Charles Bronson. In a word, Zach, no. His channel disappeared. Right, right. And how's Matthew been coming off the past few days, Maureen? Any improvement, or has it gotten worse? Some people have speculated that he is an alcoholic, Zach. Somebody commented on one of my short videos I did on him and said that he is. I don't know. One thing with looking at Matthew, you would think Matthew comes off like a guy that's like could be past for his late 40s, early 50s. He's actually only 42 years of age. So maybe that's something. Drinking a lot, it makes you look older. He's still got a bit of fair amount of hair, not grey, or well, he might dye his hair. I don't know, but maybe it's the drink, though. But he usually describes people as awful. That's usually his go-to. Somebody's awful. This person awful. I don't know though. He seems to like Gary Lineker though, so I think if you like Gary Lineker, you're a bit of a knob, personally. But just 1 second, guys. I'll be back. Here we are. Sorry, but you saying Joey Cass, Matthew Kelly, right? Oh, there's all that. Well, there was that stuff. Is Matthew was Matthew Kelly? I guess he was the guy that got falsely accused, or supposedly was falsely accused, right? Or I do remember him from back in the day. Stars in Their Eyes. I watched that a lot when I was a kid. What Matthew are you talking about? Or Matthew Steeples? I think he's married, right? Matthew Steeples married? I believe he is. Yeah, back in the day, Stars in Their Eyes, You've Been Framed, Big Break. Those were the days. Oh, yeah, you've got to go to Ireland next week. Uh, whereabouts in Ireland are you going to, Joey Cass? No, he's not married. Well, I believe he has a partner, right? He dates a woman, I believe, right? You usually hear him like speaking to someone when he's doing those live streams. Can't remember her name, but Dublin. Ah, nice. One day I'll have to go to Dublin myself. Oh, is that just his friend, Zach? All right. So is that a friend he lives with, or does she just happen to be there when he's doing the streams? Or what's trending? Someone trending here. Rest in peace, Graham. What's this all about? Deaf Sergeant Graham Saville. Maybe a bit of an unfortunate last name, Saville, after everything that came out. But as Nottinghamshire police confirm the death of serving officer. He was oh, is this the guy who was hit by the train while helping a distressed man? Gee, it was last Thursday. Jeez. Jeez, oh. Gee, I always get that thing when when you see someone's name trending on Twitter, you think, "Oh no, don't tell me these people have someone's that passed away, they've died." All right, all right. Are people on his stream? Are they familiar with my stuff, Zach? Or because I have posted a few shorts videos on Matthew Steeples, and it gets a good few hundred views. Like a couple of people commenting. But I guess you're glad though the moderator's gone though, Maureen. You weren't a fan of that moderator for Matthew, right? Maybe he best pit that mod pissed off a lot of people. Gee, uh, I don't know. I don't know. He just a bit smug, a bit too smug and rude for me. But I can't really be bothered though watching watching buddy live streams him blabbing on about what DVD box set he's been watching or whatever. Uh, Final Flourish. That was his live stream. Three weeks ago, I've got 3 weeks ago. There's a clip here, and someone put Sean Atwood in his pissed up guest, and you see Steeples' face looking a little worse for wear in that silly orange jumper he always wears. All right. Is that are they getting into the stuff about Jimmy Savile on that, Zach? God, how fucked up was that guy though, eh? Like, he got off in the wreckage, eh? He got off on the wreckage. Mhm, mhm. It was a scam is trending. What are people saying? Something about Jeremy Corbyn or something. Corbyn, I used the term Zionist in an accurate political sense. Just a monster. I mean, you know what? The kids, necrophiliac, he was the devil incarnate, wasn't he? He mentioned my name, Maureen, saying, I don't like the name Maureen. I once had a secretary called Maureen and she was an evil beep. Watched a bit tonight. He was way sober. Strange person just didn't like your name, eh? That's very weird. I'm in a house sack. Salford City did well though tonight. They beat Leeds on penalties, the giant killers. And my team is playing in a 2 days' time playoff of the Europa League against FC Hacken. First game was 2-2. No, you can't, Zach. No, but so it's 2-2. Aberdeen Hacken. So just need to get a buddy win, and that'll be us through to the group stages, Europa League. We could get a good juicy draw. I mean, we could get Liverpool in our group. We could get Brighton in our group. And if we lose to Hacken, we go to the Conference League. We could maybe get an Aston Villa, but I don't think I want an Aston Villa though. I mean, they thumped five Hibs 5-0 at their ground. I don't want them. Oh yeah, yeah, Matt. I forgot about West Ham. Yeah, automatically they qualified because they won the Conference League. We could get them. Um, Matthew's a good guy. I was pleased to see him not drinking much. Yeah, yeah. I think a lot. I mean, a few different people when I've watched his live streams with he does with Atwood, have commented and have asked, have you got a drinking problem, man? Is there someone up here? Um, there is times where he goes off on one. It can be a bit funny and a bit amusing. In a weird way, I think when he's drunk, he's more of a funny drunk. I think it's when he's sober he can be a bit of a rude dick. From what I've seen. Maybe you've seen something different, but there used to be a directory inquiries service called Maureen. You'd be great for a pub quiz, Joe Cast. You really would. The EPL. EPL, Matt. You talk. You saying the Europa League, Matt? Talking? Are you talking the English league? I got EPL. If it's Europa League, God, I don't know. Maybe it could be Liverpool. Maybe it could be Brighton. It would surprise me if Liverpool get to like semi-final. Oh, English Premier League. I'm sorry. Oh, right, right. Probably City. I think. I think City are going to win it again. Personally, I would say. US term. Oh, so you're in the States, Matt. What about in some Santa Monica? All right, nice, nice. I hear it's pretty good out there, eh? Warm weather, low taxes. It's not a bad place to live, right? Róisín Murphy again trending on Twitter. Completely agree with Róisín Murphy. Puberty blockers are fucked up. Never back down from what you really think. Exactly. Yeah, I know. I mean, what they take about 50 bloody percent your income. That's fucked. Like, wasn't it? Was it Phil Mickelson was outspoken about the high taxes, and then there was a bit of a backlash, and then he backed down and he apologized. And yeah, just be thick skinned about these things, Maureen. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But speaking of alcohol here, it says apparently Scottish alcohol deaths hit highest level for 14 years. Christ, that's not good. Yep. For today, gone tomorrow. I know. Right. Okay. So I'm gonna wrap up this live stream just in a minute or so. So any last comments? Any other questions? Anything? Yeah. Just give me a shout now. Okay. So I think I'm just gonna leave it now. Wrap this up. Getting a bit late. So it's almost midnight. So I think I'm just gonna call it a night now with this live stream. Okay. So thanks very much for joining, guys. Appreciate you as always joining. Uh, So maybe I'll be back tomorrow. I can't miss, but I'll try though. I'll try and do a live stream tomorrow evening. Can't guarantee on the time. I end up doing a bit. Usually end up doing these a bit later than I intend to. But yeah, so I'm just going to call it a night now. So thanks very much everybody who joined. Really do appreciate it. And I probably will be, as I say, I probably will be back again for a live stream tomorrow evening. So thank you very much, guys. Appreciate you joining. Take care. So good night.